विनायक नमस्तुभ्यं सततं मोदकप्रिय निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुमरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनूमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। सर्वेभ्यः सुप्रभातम्। अद्य पञ्चाङ्गं शार्वरीनाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने हेमन्तर्तौ पूर्णिमान्त मार्गशिरमासे अमान्त कार्तिकमासे कृष्णपक्षे पंचमी तिथि till 9:40 AM followed by षष्ठी। आश्लेष नक्षत्रम till 4:16 AM, that means till tomorrow morning, so it's there all through till tomorrow morning 4:16 AM. After that Magha Nakshatram, Vasarah Sthiravasarah, so Saturday. Indra Yoga till 9:44 PM, followed by Vaidhriti Yoga. Taitila Karanam till 9:40 AM, followed by Gara till 9:31 PM, followed by Vanik Yoga. So Sushachate, Sudiranchate. So that's the Panchangam for today. So last last session, we completed the fourth Sarga. So the Bhashyakara says, Evam Trivaram, so 3 times having said the Ramayana. First time through Narada, second time in a way through Brahma, third time Valmiki himself recollecting, composing the bullets, as we saw in the last fourth Sarga. So Trivaram Satyam, they say, if anything that is chanted 3 times becomes truth. Right? So 3 times said. Now 5th Sarga onwards, the actual Ramayana description goes in the first person. So far, if you see, Uttama Purusha it was. So Valmiki himself describing Valmiki, right? But here onwards it will be in the Prathama Purusha, which is as if he is the evidence to whatever was happening. So that's how the description will start from the Panchama Sarga. So Balakande Panchama Sarga. Generally the description or the subject of this chapter is Ayodhya Varnanam. So Ayodhya city, description of that city. So the first thing is visual. The camera will be moving around the Ayodhya city. It starts from Kosala and then slowly comes down to earth, on the earth, moving around the roads, various streets, etc., of Ayodhya. So imagine the beautiful visuals in this chapter. So Sarva Purvamiyam Yesham. Anybody? Good. Lina, one of you. Lina, go ahead.
Can you say it again, Guruji?
Sarva purvamiyam yesham
Sarva purvamiyam yesham
asit kritsna vasundhara asit kritsna vasundhara
asit kritsna vasundara
prajapatim upadaya
prajapatim upadaya
nrupanam jayashalinam
rupanam
jayashalinam.
jayashalinam.
Is my internet fine today? Is it breaking? It's fine, right?
It's good.
Okay. So it's starting with, the story is now starting. Long, long ago, once upon a time, kind of a description. Sarva apurvam iyam yesham asit kritsna vasundhara prajapatim upadaya nrupanam jayashalinam. So, yesham, those whosoever kritsna vasundhara, entire vasundhara bhumi, entire earth, the whole world, yesham, whosoever were jayashalinam, whosoever were not ordinary people, jayashalinam, their shalatvam, jayam shalate iti jayashalinaha. That means those who are victorious always. Vijigishu pravritti, we say in Sangha Bhautiks also, several times we hear that spirit to win. That's why in Khel also, whatever it takes, we try to win. Even though we know it is between our friends, we still run. That's why in Shakha, the Jayashalitvam, Vijigishu pravritti, is always in a way trained, right? So Jayashalinam, so victorious people, Nrupanam, of victorious kings. That Vasundhara, the entire Kritsna Vasundhara, entire earth, which was of victorious kings, Prajapatim Upadaya. Prajapati is Manu. In this case, Vaivasvata Manu, Vivaswan. Starting from that Vivaswan Manu onwards, the entire lineage of victorious kings, of whom this entire earth was ruled by. And in what way? Sarva Purvam, Apurvam, Purvam, past, Apurvam, never before. So, like never before, Sarvam Apurvam, like never before, this earth was now ruled by, starting from Manu. So, Sarvapurvam iyam yesham asit kritsna vasundhara prajapatim upadaya arabhya, starting from Prajapati Manu, nrupanam jayashalinam. So that means what we are, in a way, this first shloka itself of the actual Ramayana story is setting the context that we had an undivided continuum of lineage right from Manu, the first, genes of Manu, onward till this day when Ramayana story is starting. It has been continuous lineage of great victorious rulers. What kind of them they are? In fact, in Raghuvamsham by Kalidasa, he describes a lot more characters of what kind of rulers were they. He takes this first shloka, Jayashalinam, Nrupanam. These two words he takes, and he elaborates what are their qualities. Why did we revere them? Normally, nobody likes kings, but here we worship our kings, our rulers. Why was it? He describes all those qualities. They were sages. When it comes to their individual interests and tastes, they were sages, meaning they were sleeping on the ground in their homes. Such simple, simplistic people. But they would build their treasury for the sake of people. To give, they build the treasury. To protect, they rule the people. These kind of nice adjectives were given in Raghuvamsham. I'll take up probably Maybe next class I'll take those 2-3 slokas and we can discuss that also. So in that lineage, second sloka, let us read. Yesham Sagaro Nama
येषां सगरो नाम
Sagaro Yena Khanitah
सागरो येन खानितः
Shashtif Putra Sahasrani
षष्टिः पुत्रसहस्राणि
Yam Yantam Paryavarayan.
यं यान्तं पर्यवारयन्.
So in that lineage, Yesham, of those whoever, Saha Sagaraha Nama Sagaro Yena Khanitaha. Khanitaha, Khananam is digging. Khanitaha was dug by. So this earth, and in the beginning was a big piece of land. Okay, they say. Then Sagara was one of the kings of this lineage of Ikshvakus, starting from Manu. And the way, again, I always say, right, in every word in Sanskritam is a definition. There is no sound word. Everything is a definition. So, Sagaraha. Garaha is a sort of venom, the poison. That is why garam we say, right? Because poison is hot. It's fuming and all. So garam, that's why even in Hindi, that word garam comes. So Sagaraha, he was born, but that story also comes in Balakanda much later, when Sagara's birth is, and Sagara, all of that story is told. So he was born because his mother was already poisoned. In spite of that, he was successfully born. So such a strong guy he is to prove to remember that he was named as Sagaraha, one with poison or born with poison. That's what the name means. So such a king Sagaraha, whose Shashti Putra Sahasrani, he had 2 wives, and from 2 wives, one had only 1 child, the other one had 60,000 children, and these 60,000 children were mischievous. And in fact, Suprabhaji taught this entire Gangavataranam that comes in Balakanda much later, when Vishwamitra tells this whole story of how Ganga was brought down to earth. So that whole, there were 3 chapters. It's called Gangavataranam, that when we read there. But briefly, so these Shashti Putra Sahasrani, these 60,000 children of Sagaraha, they, in order to find the lost Ashwamedha, Ashwa, the horse of that yajna, the symbolic horse of that yajna, when it was stolen by Indra, Sagara asked these 60,000 children to go and find it. These guys keep looking, they don't find anywhere on the earth. So then they think, somebody tells them, hey, Indra would have gone underground. So they take it literally and they keep digging the earth everywhere. And it is said that as they have dug the earth, from that water has come out, and so the sea was formed. And so because Sagara's children have dug it, that is called Sagaraha. Like Dasharatha's son is Dasharathi, Janaka's daughter Janaki. So also Sagara's children have dug it, have discovered it, or have built it, or have formed it. It is called Sagaraha. So Sagaro Yena Khanitaha, by whom it was, Sagara was dug by his Shashtiputra Sahasrani, Yam Yantam Paryavarayan, Pari-avarayan. So around that earth, as they were trying to find that horse, as they were going around and digging, because of which Sagara was built. So we are starting from the Manu time. From there we came down to earth. From then now Sagara sea is also built. And so see the top visual. Imagine the visual how the camera is moving. Ikshvakunam idam tesham.
Ikshvakunam idam tesham.
Rajnyam vamshe mahatmanam.
Rajnyam vamshi mahatmanam.
महात्मनां
महात्मनां
महदुत्पन्नमाख्यानं
महदुक्तं महाज्ञानं
महदुत्पन्नं महाख्यानं
महदुत्पन्नं
आख्यानं महदुत्पन्नमाख्यानं
महदु
महदुत्पन्न
महदुत्पन्नं महाज्ञानं
आख्यानं
माख्यानं
महदुत्पन्नमाख्यानं
मादुत्पन्नं माख्यानं
रामायणमिति श्रुतम्.
रामायणमिति श्रुतम्.
So, beauty of our culture. There is no patents. We always credit it to the previous generations for the knowledge. Ramayanam iti shrutam. Valmiki himself is saying, he didn't name it Ramayanam. He's saying Akhyanam. Akhyanam means a narration, a huge, Mahad Akhyanam, a great narration, an elaborate story or record. Ramayanam iti shrutam, as heard by the name of Ramayana, he said. So Valmiki himself is saying, it is not my name, it was called Ramayanam. Mahad Utpannam, a big, a grand narrative that was Utpannam means that was produced, or that was known to be, that emanated. So a great grand narrative called Ramayanam that emanated, or that generated, or that came up, that showed up in Ikshvakunam Mahatmanam Tesham Rajnyam Vamshe. In the Vamsha, Vamshe, in the Vamsha. Vamsha is in that lineage, in the dynasty. In that lineage of Mahatmanam. They are not ordinary people, Mahatmas. Each ruler in that dynasty is a Mahatma, great people. Physically strong, mentally determined, spiritually elevated, always for people. They always used to treat themselves as trustees of this earth. As a trustee, I don't own it, but I have the responsibility to take care of it, to make sure that it is growing and is doing better, is doing good. So it is a responsibility that they used to take and not enjoyment. So, and hence they are referred as Mahatmanam. Who are they? Ikshvakunam. Ikshvaku is one of the ancestors in that lineage after Manu. And so that dynasty is also sometimes called by Ikshvaku, because every person in that dynasty is a great one. So each time they refer by one of their names. Sometimes if they remember Ikshvaku, then they say Ikshvaku Vamsha. If they remember Raghu, then they say Raghu Vamsha. So there are several names like that. Ravikula, right from Manu. So son Ravikulam. So by various such names. So Ikshvakunam Rajnyam, Rajan of the Rajas, Rajnyam. So of the Ikshvaku kings dynasty, who are great noble people, in that lineage, this narration or this story called Ramayanam, as heard and called as Ramayanam, emanated, showed up. Tadidam vartayishyami.
Can you say that again?
Tadidam vartayishyami.
Tadidam vartayishyami.
Sarvam nikhilamaditaha.
Sarvam nikhilamaditaha.
Dharma kamartha sahitam.
Dharma kamartha sahitam.
Shrotavyamanasoyaya.
Shrotavyamanasoyaya.
Very good. So that Ramayanam iti Shrutam Akhyanam, whatever that Akhyanam was there, tat idam, that story, vartayishyami, I will now make it relevant, or I will make it prevalent now. Means I will explain it or I will narrate it. Vartate means exists. Vartayishyami, I shall make it exist, which means I shall narrate that story now. I shall make it continue. I shall make it prevalent. So tadidam vartayishyami, sarvam in entirety, nikhilam in detail, elaborated, aditaha from the beginning, the entire Ramayana story, I shall now tell it. But they say there is another pathantara. In some texts, we might see this as tadidam vartayishyavaha. Instead of vartayishyami, vartayishyavaha. In dual tense, Prathama Purusha. Uttama Purusha. So because if you see, fourth chapter ended where Lava and Kusha were narrating it, and Rama invited them, right, to his palace, and he was surrounded by his brothers and other secretaries and ministers, and they were listening. So fifth chapter should have started in the voice of Lava and Kusha, right? So some texts say Vartayishyavaha means we shall tell in dual number. Lava and Kusha are saying, oh, by the way, whatever was heard as Ramayanam for so long in the lineage of this Manu and Ikshvakus, we too shall narrate it right from the beginning. That's one pathantaram. But this patha also is there where Vartayishyami. That means now Lava and Kusha are telling it in the first person as Valmiki said. Valmiki said that yes, I shall narrate. And so Lava and Kusha are saying as Valmiki said, I shall narrate. Right? So both pathas are there, both versions are there. So tadidam vartayishyami sarvam nikhilam aditaha dharma kama artha sahitam. So in the beginning itself we say, in fact, there are for any kavyam or for any literary works, four things are there that the author typically presents in the beginning itself. Now, what is the subject? What is the achievement that he wants? What is the purpose of this? And who is he? So those four things they try to describe. And so the purpose here is dharma, kama, artha, sahitam. This is to portray, to manifest those purushartha trayi, we say dharma, artha, kama. These three things, how should we live by dharma in order to achieve our material interests and wishes, kama and artha. Dharma, kama, artha, sahitam. And so they are saying, shrotavyam, it has to be listened, anasuyaya, asuya, envy. Anasuyaya, without envy. What does without envy mean here? While listening, does anyone get envious? So essentially it means listen with shraddha, listen with carefully, with all attention, pay attention and listen. Like we all are listening with shraddha, right? So, shrotavyam anasuyaya. Then, now they are describing. Kosalo nama muditaha.
Kosalo nama muditaha.
Sphito janapado mahan.
Sphito janapado matan mahan.
Sphi, S-P-H-E-E. Sphito. Sphito janapado mahan.
Sphito janapado
mahan. Nivishtatsarayutire.
Nivishtatsarayutire.
Prabhuta
dhanadhanyavan.
Is this text visible or should I increase the font?
No, Bhagaji, it's visible.
Let me just elaborate it just in case. So now, Kosalo Nama, Kosala, by the name of Kosala, Nama, Kosalo Nama, by the name of Kosala. Janapadaha. Janapadaha is an inhabitancy. Where people live, Jana, where they live is Janapada. So it means a country, a nation, or a state. Janapadaha, a state by name Kosala, Mahan, a great one, a great grand state by name Kosala. Spitaha, Spitaha is Samruddhaha. It was wealthy, abundant, because it is Janapada, well populated. Because there is another adjective given there as Prabhuta Dhanadhanyavan. There was abundant, Prabhutam, abundant, Dhana Dhanya, abundant wealth in terms of currency, money, and food. Both wealth in terms of currency and food was in that state. So, Spitaha, which also means Samruddhaha, which means Samruddhaha, what do we say? Samruddhaha is abundantly, with abundancy. So, because there is Dhanadhanyavan already mentioned, Spitaha here means the abundancy is of people, well populated, enough populated, so thickly populated. It was not sparsely populated. Because it was such a rich state, all migrants would come there year after year, the population increases, right? So in that context, Spitaha Janapadaha, which means fully populated, well populated place, state. Muditaha, what kind of people were they? Muditaha, Modam is happy, delight. Muditaha, always happy, joyous people. That means they never had any issues. Just like in America, right? We all enjoy. Does anyone suffer here? If anyone suffers, they say it's because they want to suffer. On a lighter note. But so essentially, something like that. So to say that there is every opportunity for everyone to be happy. So Muditaha, Spitaha, Muditaha, Janapadaha, Mahan, by the name of Kosala, Sarayu Tire, on the banks of Sarayu river. Sarayu Tire, Prabhuta Dhanadhanyavan, with lot of money, wealth and food. Nirishtaha, it existed. Sthitaha, it existed. So there existed a state, an abundant state, a rich state, full of food, happy people, by the name of, on the banks of Sarayu Nadi, by the name of Kosala. That's the sloka, fifth sloka there. Ayodhya Nama Nagari,
Ayodhya Nama Nagari,
Tatrasi Loka Vishruta,
Taknasi Loka Vishruta,
Tatrasi Loka Vishruta,
Tatrasi Loka Vishruta,
Manunamana Vaindrena,
Manunamana Vaindrena,
Yapuri Nirmita Swayam.
Yapuri Nirmita Swayam.
I think for all of us it is very, very easy, right? We are able to understand, maybe except Leena and Pragya, probably they also understand it. It's very simple language, right? So Ayodhya, so in that Kosala state, Ayodhya Nama Nagari, previously Kosalo Nama Janapadaha. So here Ayodhya Nama Nagari, there is one city in that Kosala state by name Ayodhya. Tatra Asit, in that Kosala Nagaram, in that Kosala Janapadam, in that Kosala Deshe, Asit existed, there used to be. Loka Vishruta, very popular city. All worlds knew about this Ayodhya city. In fact, they say the very name Ayodhya means, again, just like we saw before, right? Is Na. Yodhya, Yuddham, Yuddha, right? Yuddha is the dhatu there. So Yuddham is fight or war. By fight, if you win it, it is Yodhya. You won. Winnable. Ayodhya, invincible. Na Yodhya is Ayodhya. So the very name of that city called Ayodhya means invincible city. Nobody could ever win it. It was always ruled by them, the Ikshvaku dynasty, and starting from Manu. So Ayodhya Namanagari Tatra Asit Lokavishruta. And how was this Ayodhya built? Swayam Manuna Manavendrena Yapuri Nirmita. By directly by himself. It means by directly under his own design, direction, and supervision of who? Of Manu, the very first beginning Manu. Because we said even in the first sloka, we said directly from Manu, this whole lineage that came. So by that Manu, who is Manu means Manavendra. Manuna Manavanam Indraha Manavendraha, the king of all men, or the originator of all men, the original root of all humans is Manavendra. So Manuna Manavendrena Ya Puri, that Nagaram, that city, Nirmita Swayam, directly built by him. So it was not that it was, so that Ayodhya is so popular because it was directly designed, built, supervised by none other than Manu himself. That is what this sloka is saying. And so Ayodhya is Lokavishruta. And so it is Ayodhya, which means invincible. Ayakadasha Chatvecha.
Ayakadasha Chatvecha.
Dvecha.
Chatvecha.
Ayakadasha Chatvecha.
Ayakadasha Chatvecha.
Yojanani Mahapuri.
Yojanani Mahapuri.
Srimata Trini Vistirna.
Srimatati Vitistirna.
Trini. Srimata Trini Vistirna.
Srimatati Vistirna.
Suvibhakta Mahapatha.
Suvibhakta Mahapatha.
So now Ayodhya is being described further. Ayata Dashacha Dvecha. In poetry, sometimes a number, for some reason, they don't say the number directly. They say it as a sum of two numbers. So here they are saying Dashacha Dvecha, 10 and 2, which means 12. So they don't say directly 12, 10 and 2. Likewise, when Kaikeyi asks Rama to leave, she says, Navapanchacha Varshani, she says. She doesn't say directly 14. 9 and 5, she says. Navapanchacha Varshani, 9 and 5, which means 14. Likewise, Atra also, Dashacha Dvecha, 10 and 2, which means 12. So Ayata is length. So now you are seeing the blueprint of Ayodhya as built by Manuna Manavendra. What is it? 12 yojanas in length. Ayata Dashacha Dvecha Yojanani. Yojana is, let us say, if we take, typically they say is 10 miles. There are various, the units vary by context. In a colloquial context, the number is something. In a engineering context, it will mean something else. In a poetic context, it could mean a different number, right? So here, it is about 10 miles is 1 yojana, so about 120 mile length. Ayata Dashacha Dvecha Yojanani Mahapuri Srimati. Srimati is rich. Sri Tadvan Tadmati Srimati, which means the Sri herself, Lakshmi herself is living there. Then it is Srimati. Srimati Trini Vistirna. So 12 in the length, 3 in the width. Vistirana is 3 times width. Suvibhakta Mahapatha. So it's a rectangular city, well-built rectangular city. Suvibhakta, nicely divided. Mahapatha. Mahapatha is highways. Well-built, nicely divided highways. So they're well designed up front. They didn't have to extend Old Atlanta Road one more time, 400 with 2 more lanes again one more time. No, it was not ad hoc planning. They have planned very well in the beginning and laid out so many number of lanes. Mahapatha. Highways were nicely planned. And Suvibhakta, it is not curved ones. And in fact, if you see from here, any downtown in America, if you see, how are downtown lanes? They're properly rectangles, right? Properly planned and divided rectangles. Rectangles as in, parallel roads. There is no curved road and all, right? It's all parallel. Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 avenue. A, B, C, D lanes or something like that, right? So very, organized planning. But in suburbs, no, the lane will be curving around. You do not know in which direction it will go and all. So that is called the downtown kind of planning is called Suvibhakta Mahapatha, which means nicely organized and divided highways. Suvibhakta Mahapatha. So such was Ayodhya. Rajamargena Mahata. Who is saying? Prajna?
Rajamargena Mahata.
Suvibhaktena Shobhita.
Suvibhaktena Shobhita.
Mukta Pushpavakirnena.
Mukta Pushpavakirnena.
Jalasiktena Nityashaha.
Jalasiktena Nityashaha.
So first thing was highways we talked about. Now Rajamargena Mahata. Grand royal streets, let us say, where the princely envoys and all can go. Now we have the same roads for everybody, but in those days there were certain roads that were designed because the roads that are coming out of the main palace, right, from White House, for example, all the roads that are coming out of White House, they should be designed better so that presidential convoys with all security, all of that can easily go without blocking the people traffic, right? For example, in Delhi, in any city in India today, if Chief Minister is coming, if Prime Minister is coming, all roads are blocked, right? To avoid that, there are Rajamarga also. Rajamargas are separately laid out so that they are sort of bypass the streets without disturbing the main people living in main people traffic. So Rajamargena Mahata, that also Suvibhaktena. Here also they have carefully planned them so that it is not obstructing the normal Janapada Marga. Suvibhaktena Shobhita. Shobhanam. Shobhita means well decorated, grandly decorated. So these Rajamargas had probably nice street lights and lot of Christmas kind of lighting, all of that. So that is being described. Mukta Pushpa Avakirnena. How are these Rajamarga? Mukta Pushpa. So there were trees along, and then from the trees, Pushpaha, flowers. Muktaha, released. That means from the trees, the flowers have fallen on the green pastures along the roads. So I told you, right, it will be beautiful visual if you can only imagine the poetry that Valmiki is describing. So we call what is called in the US is boulevards, right? Boulevards is where along the center you have the path, concrete path with trees and green lawns. So that is sort of this one. And if you have beautiful trees, unfortunately in America, trees don't flower much. Even if they flower, there is no fragrance. But there, our trees and flowers, They always, every tree means there is a flower. There is no tree without a flower. Tree means flowered. And flower means fragrance. Flower means color, beauty, and fragrance, of course. So roads were always perfumed roads. You know, if you walk along, if you drive along, you have nice fragrance of those flowers. And ground also, land also was beautifully decorated because those petals, flowers would fall. And so mukta pushpavakirnena, the flowers released, fallen on the ground along the roads. Jalasiktena, the other areas where probably there was no flowers, there was lawn, right? Jalasiktam, siktam is wet. The lawns were always wet. That means there were sprinklers on always. Imagine how Ayodhya was so long back, how beautifully it was built. I mean, Ayodhya is a representation of all of our cities of Bharat. So, Jalasiktena, there were sprinklers continuously watering and wetting the lawns and flowers falling. So, see the beauty, green pastures, nice colored petals falling, wet water, sprinklers. Jalasiktena nityashaha, continuously, not once in a while, but periodically, every now and then, continuously. Nityashaha. So such city, tam tu raja dasharatho,
Tam tu raja Dasharatho
Maharashtra vivardhanaha,
Maharashtra Vivartanaha
Purimavasayamasa,
Purimavasayamasa
Divam Devapatir
Divam Devapatir
So Tam Purim Raja Dasharatha Maharashtra Vivardhanaha Divam Yatha Devapatihi Tatha Purim Avasayamasa. Just as Diva is Swargaloka. Just as Swargaloka, Devapatihi, who is Indra, Devapatihi, Devanam Patihi, Devapatihi. Devapatihi Yatha Divam. So also, just as Indra in Swargaloka, Amaravati city, for example, so also this Maharashtra Vivardhanaha, Rashtra is nation, Maharashtra, grand nation, Vivardhanaha, Vardhanam, growth, Vivardhanaha, Visheshena Vardhanam. So Dasharatha was a person who was constantly trying to expand, develop that nation, the grand nation. Constant, significant developer of that grand nation. That is the meaning of Maharashtra Vivardhanaha. So, Maharashtra Vivardhanaha, Raja Dasharatha, Tam means that Purim, Tam Purim, that Ayodhyam, Avasayamasa, Avasa resides, Vasa residence, Avasayamasa means in the past tense. He used to live there. How? As Indra used to live in Amaravati, so also Dasharatha used to live in Ayodhya. So the comparison is between Indra and Ayodhya, between Amaravati and, between Indra and Dasharatha, and Amaravati and Ayodhya. So that was the comparison given here. And we know later in the stories also we will know that Dasharatha used to go several times to help Indra against for the fights, for the wars against Rakshasas. So hence the comparison of their equivalency. Kavata Toranavatim
Kavatatoranavatim
Suvibhaktantarapanam
Suvibhaktan Parapanam
Sarvayantra Yudhavatim
Sarvayatra Yudavatim
Upetam sarvashilpibhihi.
Upitam sarvashilpibihi.
So how was this Ayodhya now? From there, they are now coming to Kavata Toranavatim. Toranam, we all know, right? Toranam is that entrance, the first gate. First gate is called Toranam. And Kavata Toranavatim, well protected, strong doors, strong gates of the entrance of that city. All the main entry and all the main gates, entries into that city were protected by Kavata. Kavata is strong doors. Kavata Toranavatim Suvibhaktantarapanam. So, first of all, the city outside is well protected. And once you enter, city is not necessarily just security, army, police, etc. First thing that they are describing here is Suvibhakta, well organized, well divided and organized. Antara, inside. Antara is inside. Apanam, first thing that they are describing is Apanam, shops. Apanaha is shops. So Ayodhya was full of shops, malls, shopping malls. First thing that we go to any new city we see is we go to shopping malls, right? So also Ayodhya was full of apana, shopping malls. Suvibhaktantarapanam. And so first started with that. Then the next description is Sarva Yantrayudhavatim. From wherever required, there were Yantra, Ayudha. Ayudha is weapons. There was nice defense-oriented weapons continuously looking for any foes, enemies, etc. And also Yantra. So the gates and all were operated through machines, machine-operated, automated gates, etc. You can imagine like Star Wars gates. As you walk, door opens, all of that, right? So beautifully engineered city. Not only that, so how is it? How are they qualifying it as beautifully engineered? Sarva Shilpibhihi Upetam. That which was built by Sarva Shilpibhihi. Shilpa is sculptors in ordinary terms. But essentially here it is architects, engineers, and of course sculptors, etc. Right? Artists. So there was beauty on the front by artists. There was nice artistic aesthetics by sculptors. Well designed by architects, strongly built by engineers. All of them, that group of creative builders is called as Shilpidihi, Shilpinaha. So by all best of the Shilpas, it was built. That is what it's saying. Sutamagada Sambadham.
Sutamagada Sambadham.
Srimati Makula Prabham.
Srimati Makula Prabham.
Uchchataladhvajavatim.
Uchchataladhvajavati.
Shatagni Shatasamritam.
Shatagni Shatasamritam.
So Suta Magadha Sambadham. The city was had enough sutas. So sutas are the charioteers or the main secretaries. In case of wars, it is these charioteers, and in case of administration, they are the main secretaries. So sutaha and magadhaha. There are two other roles with all princely roles. One is called Vandi, one is called Magadha. Vandi is they keep praising. As the king is coming, right? Oh, Raja Raja Martanda, Raja Dhiraja, Kula Raja, that all the praises they make, right? Bahupara, they say. So as the king is coming, the announcements made. So that praising type of role is called Vandi. But Magadha are the ones who are praising to remind the king constantly that, hey, you come from this great successful lineage, be responsible to keep up that reputation. Don't you ever fall from that reputation. So to remind them, they keep praising their old ancestry, their history, historical achievements, so that this king is conscious that, oh, I should live up to it. I cannot fail that reputation. So they are called Magadhaha and Sambadhaha. Sambadha is all the people who are establishing relationships, public relationship. They say, right? What are they called? Public relations officers or something like that, right? Public relationships. So Sutaha, Magadhaha, Sambadhaha, Srimatim Atula Prabham. And we previously also he used that Srimatim. Again, he's saying it's a rich state. Srimatim Atula Prabham. Tula is measure. Atula, immeasurable, uncountable or immeasurable. Immeasurable Prabha. Prabha is the glow. That city was so beautiful, so rich, so abundant, so strong, so well designed aesthetically and by security wise, that it is uncomparable, immeasurable, immeasurable. Atulam, Atula Prabham. And that's why even in our Vande Mataram also, Atula, Sujalam, Sukhalam, Mataram, we say, right? Atulam. Bharat Mata is Atula, uncomparable, immeasurable. You cannot, there is no one else equivalent to it. So Atula. Atula Prabham. Uchchatal Dhvajavatim. So it had this Dhvaja. And how was it? Uchcha, tall. Not just the pole was tall. If the pole was tall, and if there's a huge windstorm, it will fall off. It will break or fall, just like trees fall. But if it is that tall, it means the building itself was that tall. The building was that tall that the Dhvaja, Uchcha Attala. Attala is never falling. Nitala, Atala, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, right? Atala means unfalling. That means forms. So Uchcha and Atala, it was tall and strong Dhvajavati. That city which had a tall, strong Dhvaja. Uchchatala Dhvajavati. Shatagni Shatasamvrutam. Shatagni is Gna is one that kills. Shatagni, one that kills hundreds. That means something like cannon. A missile that throws a cannon. Shatagni. Shatasamvrutam, hundreds of Shatagnis. Surrounded by, that city had hundreds of such missile launchers or ammunition launchers. Shatagni Shatasamvrutam. So on one hand, we saw that it was economically very good city because it started with Apanam, and then we saw that it was Yantra Ayudha, Sarva Yantra Ayudhavatim. So it had well engineered, automated machinery, etc., automated gates, automated security lanes, etc. And we also saw that it had greenery pastures, always sprinkled, nice flowers falling, and so giving beauty there. And now people also there were all kinds of roles of Sutas, Magadhas, Sambadhaha, rich Srimati and all. Dhvaja, it had the Dhvaja, and it had the Shatagni, hundreds of Shatagna, which means missiles around. So such a city. And further, how was it? Vadhu Nataka Sanghaischa.
Can you say that?
Vadhu Nataka Sanghaischa.
Vadhu Nataka Sanghesha
Samyuktam Sarvatah Purim.
Samyuktam Sarvatah Purim
Udyanam Ravanopetam.
Udyanam Ravanopetam
Mahatim Salamekhalam.
Mahatim Salameghalam
Mekhalam.
Mahatim Salameghalam.
So Vadhu Nataka Sanghaischa. Nataka, dancing or actors. Vadhu, women, ladies. So there were a lot of dancers everywhere. Anywhere you go, there are nice dancers welcoming you. You go to a shopping mall, in the entry, you have nice, these Vadhu Nataka Sangha, groups of dancers. They are welcoming you. Anywhere you go, visitors come, tourists come, they walk along. Ah, what a beautiful city. Anywhere I go, I see these nice welcoming dancers, artists, performing artists continuously. So that is Vadhu Nataka Sanghehi Samyuktam Sarvataha Purim. All around, anywhere. It is not just only at the entrance you have them. All around you have these performing artist groups by ladies. And Udyana Amravanopetam. Udyanam, gardens. You have gardens everywhere. And how are these gardens? Amravanopetam. In fact, Dhirendraji, I never knew that even in Ayodhya you have mangoes, sir. Mango trees.
Oh yeah, Bogaji, in India's maximum mangoes come from UP only.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Malihabad is a
Maharashtra.
Malihabad is a city which is highest producer of mangoes in India.
See?
So everywhere you will see mangoes only. I mean, even in our place, we have big bags of that.
Yeah, Bogaji. The varieties of mangoes are different, but all the sherry and all come from there only. Yeah. UP has got a lot of mangoes. Yeah, Southern Indian mangoes are different. Yeah, but UP, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Andhra, that is the core belt.
Okay.
And of course, Gujarat, that entire mid.
Yeah. So the Seri is the brand. I mean, the famous one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
The
Good.
sherry comes from there. Yeah.
Good. So see, it is factual records even in Ramayana, right? Even since ages. So Amra Vanopetam, surrounded by Amra mango, mango trees. What do you call? No, not tree. Mango farms. Mango farms filled gardens around. Amra Vanopetam, Mahatim Salamekhalam. At the same time, Mahati, long Sala Vrikshaha, Saptaekena, Sharenekaina, Saptan, Shalan. You remember that sloka? Where to kill Vali, they say, Sugriva asks him to prove his strength and Pratyayartham to Rama. With one arrow only, he shoots such that 7 Salavrakshas fall one after another. One arrow, it pierces through 7 trees and falls them. So those are Salavrakshas, the tall, strong.
You said Tadi Chettu, if I remember.
Tadi Chettu, yeah, Tadi Chettu. Tada, Sala. Tadi Chettu. So probably date are short. Yeah. These are our trees, which are very tall also. Right? Tadi, I don't know, what do you call them? Palm trees. Palm trees, tall ones, dark, strong, thick trunks, right? So those are Salavraksha. So long Salavraksha. In fact, Florida and all, if you go, probably Deepti and all should be able to say that. In Florida, you have everywhere those palm or date trees, right? Which give that regional beauty. So Sala Mekhala. Mekhala is chain. Mekhala is a chain. So chain of, that means a string of the palm trees. Sala Mekhalam Mahatim Upetam. Durga Gambhira Parigam.
Durga Gambhira Parigam.
Durga Manyair Durasadam.
Durga Manye Durasadam.
Vajivarana Sampurnam.
Vajivarana Sampurnam.
Gobhir Karais Tatha. Gobhir Ushtraihi Karais Tatha. Gobhir Karais Tatha.
Govirushtrai Karaistatha.
Uttam. So further narration of Ayodhya. Durgaha, there were several forts. Durgaha, Gambhira Parigaha, Gambhira Parigam, that Ayodhya which had forts with Gambhira Parigaha. Parigaha is certain ammunition. Gambhira Parigaha, the very strong ammunition. Also Durgam Anyaihi Durasadam, these forts, Anyaihi Durasadam, by others unconquerable or unreachable. Unreachable forts because they were well established with ammunition. Durga Gambhira Parigam, Durgam Anyair Durasadam, Asada Prasada, we say it. Sada means Sadanam, to enter, to live. Asadam, to live there. Durasadam, unable to live there. That means by others. By who? Anyaihi. By others, it cannot be reached or it cannot be conquered. Durgam Anyaihi Durasadam. And how are these forts? So there was ammunition already, Parigam, and Vaji Varana Sampurnam. These forts were full of Vaji. Vaji is horses. Vajapayam, that's why, right? Because that is a horse-based yajna. So Vajapayam, Vaji. Varana is Vatapi, Varanasi. Varana is elephant. So there were a lot of horses, lot of elephants, Sampurnam, full of horses and elephants. Not only those, go, that means bullocks, bulls, or not bulls, oxes, right? Oxes, go, masculine ones. Gobhihi, ushtraihi, camels. So see their forces, war forces. There were some going on horses, some going on elephants, some going on bullocks, some going on camels, ushtraihi, and karaihi. In fact, I never understood. Vikramji, do you remember, or anyone else knows why Kara also was maintained in forts? Donkey, yeah. Why are donkeys?
They're the most useful for carrying loads, and they can go anywhere. For example, the entire Pratapgarh fort, which is Shivaji's fort, that was built by the help of donkeys. You tie a bag and you take them once that path, and you tie a bag and then leave them, and every time you get them, they'll go back on the same path. They have beauty. Well, we think they can dumbly carry load on the same path without thinking. They will go on the same exact path without falling on the mountain cliff and deliver your goods.
Built in GPS.
Most modern times today, like Haridwar and all, they are built using donkeys, because they'll just put two bags of cement or whatever on the donkey's back and send it. It'll go on the exact path.
Right. Soumya, what were you saying?
Built in GPS, I said.
GPS, yeah. So donkeys are GPS and load GPS tracked vehicles.
That is the beauty, right? We never had. Today, we think we are animal exploitation. We think today, but in those days, there's a symbiotic relationship. So we knew what the animal strengths were, and we also, instead of using machinery, we used animals and gave them a society so that they don't get killed. Today, bulls and cows don't have any place. They end up being meat patties.
Correct.
No, I do not want to say it in the morning, but but that is what is the role. 1 second I'll take just to explain. When the agricultural revolution happened in India, everybody was talking. Let's go to tractors, build this, that, etc. One farmer, I believe, said, "But tractors don't lay dung, no." So it was such a important thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Bhagat.
Right. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So Karaihi Tada Tatha. So the forts had horses, elephants, bullocks, camels, donkeys, and of course ammunition, parighaha, ayudaha, yantraha, etc. So that these forts were invincible or unconquerable. Samantaraja Sanghaischa
सामन्तराजसङ्घैश्च
Balikarmabhiravrutam
बलिकर्मविरावृताम्
Nanadeshanivasaischa
नानादेशनिवासैश्च
Nivasaischa
निवासैश्च
Vanigbhirupashobhitam.
वणिग्भिरुपशोभिताम्.
Very good. So now this city was populated by what more kind of people? Samantaraja Sanghaischa. There were several allied kings, representatives of several allied states, other states which are allies of Koshala, of these kings. Their representatives are also, so that means ambassadors or consulates. So for example, every city will have a consulate of US, will have a consulate of UK, consulate of Dubai, UAE, consulate of all these countries, right? So those are Samantaraja Sanghaischa, by consulates, ambassadors of various countries. Balikarma Bhiravratam. Balikarma. Bali, we normally, as soon as we hear Bali, we think first thing is, slaughter and whatever. But Bali also, there is Bali Peetham in every temple. That is where you offer whatever you made, of that you offer certain thing. So Bali essentially also means tax. Tax not in negative terms, but tax is contribution.
May I add,
Contribution.
May I add a little?
Yeah.
Bali, by definition, is something that you offer directly. So there are three kinds of offering definitely in the Hinduism. One is called Naivedya, where the God sees, you're presenting it before God. Next is Yajna, where you put it in the Agni. Third is Bali, where it is directly offered. So, in Bali Peetham, they directly offer rice, etc.
Right.
Some people used animal sacrifice. So people are equating animal sacrifice to Bali. No, Bali, anything that is offered directly is called Bali.
Correct.
Physically offering. So you offer your head directly, keep your head on the Bali Peetham. That means I'm keeping my ego, my head. Does it mean animal slaughter?
Right. Correct. But in this context, it is Bali here is tax, essentially.
Tax, yeah. I mean, it's also offering, direct offering.
All the Samantarajas giving their Bali, their taxes, their contribution, essentially. Tax not in the negative sense, again, as I said, it is contribution. Together we contribute so that, for example, I was talking to my financial advisor in India, and he was saying, no, Bhogaji, you are now in NRO status. In NRI status, you shouldn't you cannot put in these ones within a lot of taxes. I said, hey, I don't mind paying taxes. I have a good government there. I want to contribute my best. So tax, if you think it is a bad guy, then you will feel it is a tax. But otherwise, take it as contribution. Each one of us will contribute into the treasury so that the kingdom can better be run. So Bali Karma Bhihi Avritam, surrounded by or filled by, seated by. Nana Desha Nivasaischa. There were immigrants from all places, all countries. Nana Desha Nivasaha. Residents of several countries used to come and live there. Vanibhihi. So not only citizens, or workers, but there were businessmen from several countries. There were ambassadors, there were citizens, meaning residents from other countries, either as tourists or as workers or as, on force, whatever. And Vanibhihi, by businessmen, traders. There were traders from all over the world. Vanibhihi Upashobhitam. This city used to be glowing, or this city used to be adorned by people, by traders, by ambassadors, by workers, by tourists from various countries. Nana Desha Nivasaischa Vanibhir Upashobhitam. Prasadai Ratna Vikritaihi.
प्रासादैरत्नविकृतैः
Parvataiva Shobhitam.
पर्वतैरिव शोभिताम्
कूटगारैश्च सम्पूर्णाम्
भूतगारैश्च सम्पूर्णाम्
कूटगारैश्च सम्पूर्णाम्
कूटगारैश्च सम्पूर्णाम्
इन्द्रस्येवामरावतीम्
इन्द्रस्येन वरान् पति
इन्द्रस्येवाव इन्द्रस्येवामरावतीम्
इन्द्रस्येवामरा
इन्द्रस्य इव अमरावतीम् इन्द्रस्येवामरावतीम्
इन्द्रस्येवामरावतीम्
very good. So prasadaihi ratnavikritaihi. Prasadaha are compound walls, fencing walls, the compound walls, the exterior walls. Ratnavikritaihi. Kritam created. Vikritam normally we think is negative, but here it is Vishesha Kritam. Well, significantly built, significantly adorned. These walls were significantly adorned by Ratna, by gems. The walls were well decorated by gems. Parvataihi, with nice hills, rocks. Parvataihi iva shobhitam. Shobhita is glowing or showing, beautifully showing decorated gems decorated walls, nicely looking up hills and hillocks. Kutagaraischa. Kutagaram is kutam is these heaps. Agara is a treasury. Karagara, Kutagara, Kuta for food grains. So huge, what do you say? Huge storerooms of heaps of grains.
Greenery.
Huh?
Greenery.
No, not greenery. Grains, dhanya, etc. Right? Godhu, dhanya, dal, lentils. Huge.
We call it dhanyagara, right?
Dhanyagara. Dhanyagara is
greenery.
Kutagara.
Okay,
Granary. Granary. Yeah, sorry. Grains. Granary. Yeah. So that means food was never an issue. Well, food was always reserved in advance. That's what it is signifying. Kutagaraischa sampurnam indrasya iva amaravatim. Just as Indra's Amaravati, so also Dashratha's Ayodhya. That is how they are trying to constantly compare Amaravati in Ayodhya with Amaravati. This is running. Okay. 8:30. What do we do? We'll stop here because I have another baitak at 8:45. We'll stop here. It is continuing. How Ayodhya is continuing in the remaining slokas. We will cover them in the next session. Anyone has anything to add here or to say?
Bhoga Mohdaya. Dashama Shloke Upetam Sarva Yantra Ayodhavati Upetam Asya Ayodhya Nagaryaha Visheshanam Asti va Upetam Upeti
Upeta iti atra kriyapada rupam kritta pratyayasya Upeta sarvashilpibihi upeta Nagari Ayodhya sarvashilpibihi upeta iti
Upetaha
Upetaha means tatra nirmita athava taihi samyojita iti
Samyojita, okay.
Shilpibihi samyojita Shilpibihi nirmita Shilpibihi sthapita iti upeta.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
So let's remember 16th shloka onwards. We will continue next session. Astu sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So does Ayodhya look any ancient as we are reading this description? It looks so modern, so contemporary, right? That is why Ramayana lives. That is why Brahma gave that guarantee, warranty to Valmiki, saying, Yavat sthasyanti girayah salilastamhi tale tavat Ramayana gatha lokeshu pracharishyati. As long as there is anything called living, as living or non-living, mobile or immobile, mountains and water, flowing, Ramayana will exist. And because it is relevant, it will never seem ancient, it will never seem irrelevant. Unlike any other movie, unlike any other story, any other works.
Hopefully, we'll all get to see it again, Bhogaji. Hopefully, we'll all get to see it again in our lifetime with the modern Ayodhya.
Yes.
And hopefully, the entire our Ramayanam group should plan for one trip.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometime this entire group of 17, 16 people we have here, we should all plan to make a field trip. Dhirendraji will
And stay at my home, Bhogaji.
Yes.
Stay at my home, I'm saying.
Stay at your home, yes. Excellent idea. Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Yes, we should all plan that and coincide with possibly inauguration and somehow we should all go.
Yes. Sriranjit.
Probably the proudest moment for Hindus in centuries, the rebuilding of Ayodhya temple is probably the proudest moment that has happened to any Hindu for maybe even a millionaire, I should say.
Correct. In fact, as we are talking this, I feel that
Bhogaji, do you want to stop recording?
Yeah.